World Congress. I believe the Amdocs theme this year is the new world of customer experience. Chris, can you tell me what that means and what are some of the solutions Amdocs is showcasing that power that new world of customer experience?
Absolutely, Sean. First, thanks for having us. Mobile World Congress is where we're unveiling the new world of customer experience, which is the term we're giving to a multi-dimensional approach to customer experience. We've done quite a bit of research, we've talked to a number of companies, and what we're seeing is some dynamics playing out in the marketplace. Obviously, the landscape is getting much more competitive, both in developed markets, but also in emerging markets. And it's not just from the traditional competitors, it's also from non-traditional competitors. So the first market dynamic is this competitive landscape. The second dynamic is mergers and acquisitions. We've seen what's going on in the UK recently. That mirrors what's been happening in Spain. It mirrors what's happening in Mexico, other parts of Latin America, and obviously the announced M&As in the North American marketplace. So a tremendous amount of mergers and acquisitions activity. And the third is really the need for operators to compete based on delivering a compelling customer experience. It's delivering a compelling customer experience that we believe is the long-term sustainable source of competitive advantage. So with all of those market dynamics in mind, we've coined this term, the new world of customer experience, to really speak to the multi-dimensional nature of the challenge that these operators have and the dynamics that are taking place that they can take advantage of. So fundamentally, there's four dimensions that make up this new world of customer experience. The first is the need to deliver more exciting, innovative services beyond the normal data plans into the world of connected home, connected car, mobile financial services, be able to deliver a more exciting portfolio of services. The second dimension is those services have to be delivered in a more intelligent manner that really reflects the personalization and contextualization. So it's relevant to me as an individual subscriber as opposed to a category of segmentation, for example. Those services also have to be influenced by what we're calling a dynamic quality of experience, which means regardless of what device I'm using, regardless of where I'm on the network, I want that experience to be consistent across wherever I am. So influencing by a dynamic quality of service. And the last is the need for operators to really embrace accelerating the business value. And that involves several things, including simplifying what are some very complex business processes. Those processes sometimes are made even more complex through mergers and acquisitions. As you can imagine, you're bringing multiple firms together. The second thing is this notion of really being able to accelerate time to market. Because of the non-traditional forms of competition and how competitive that landscape has become, the need to deliver these services to market in a much faster time period is critical. And the last is we can't lose sight of the fact that this is an industry that requires a lot of investment. So being able to reduce the cost associated with the infrastructure that's needed to serve these dynamic customer segments. All four of those dimensions make up what we're calling the new world of customer experience. And while any one of them might not necessarily be new, it's the integration of the four that is really key here.
I've heard that y'all have made an announcement this week about a small cell process automation. Could you give us a little bit of an idea of what's coming from Amdocs in that space?
Well, when we talk about delivering this quality of experience, this dynamic quality of experience, that extends across the areas of the network that don't have the kind of network coverage, right? So what we're trying to do is help operators identify those areas of the network that are going to deliver a suboptimal quality of experience, and through a variety of solutions, including the ones that you just mentioned, is being able to automate the planning, the design, the implementation, and the management of these small cell sites into the locations in the network where they need this additional capacity.
Well, we're very excited to see where Amdocs goes in delivering this new generation of customer experience, and I want to thank you for spending some time with RCR.
You're welcome. There's probably one other thing we might want to edit in here, and that is, so another example of what we talk about accelerating business value, I think is best exemplified through a win that we're going to be announcing tomorrow at Mobile World Congress with an operator in Europe, where it was taking them upwards of 3 weeks of bringing a new service to market. And so by embracing our master enterprise catalog, they were able to reduce that time from 3 weeks to 3 days.
Wow.
That's the kind of time to market benefits that we're talking about as they compete with these non-traditional sources.
And as you mentioned, with all the M&As, it's a crowded space, and so being able to have that velocity is really what keeps you in the game.
Right. When it comes to new services, I mentioned mobile financial services. So what we're seeing is tremendous uptake in some of the emerging markets where we have upwards of 1.7 billion people who are unbanked. But many of those people have mobile phones. So being able to provide them the basic financial services such as money transfer on their phones has been something that's been extremely well adopted. Now what's interesting is there's a next generation of this technology that's being deployed in developed markets. So with our recent announcements with the joint venture from Telenor, Telia2 and TeliaSonera, we've been able to deliver yet added functionality for the next generation in what are developed markets. So mobile financial services is not just for emerging markets, we're also seeing it take up in the next generation of our capabilities in developed markets.
Very good. And so what, for the developed markets, what are the new services that complement what's already in place?
A whole host of financial services that are being introduced. We've made some announcements. In December, we made some announcements. Here at Mobile World Congress, we actually have the Mobile Financial Services Cafe over there, which talks about it. So it's not just a simple matter of money transfers, which was the initial generation of capabilities, but we're now talking about being able to conduct commerce through other websites, for example, from your mobile phone, which represents an example of the next generation mobile financial service.
It's very exciting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to give you that additional, I don't know if you need to turn this off, but additional perspective, because you might want to just take some stock footage of the Mobile Financial Service Cafe and edit that into this area.
One thing on MTEL, so we're not necessarily going to be announcing it, we can reference it, but we haven't got the PR approved.